was formed. I joined UST Trivandrum Toastmasters Club in 2017, and since then I have taken multiple roles as like BPPR, SA president, etc. Now, to introduce our co-partner club here, let me welcome the president of Technopark Toastmasters Club, Toastmaster Aarti. Toastmaster Aarti is our area director as well, Area 1. She is a dual member of Trivandrum Toastmasters Club, as well as charter president of Technopark Toastmasters Club. By profession, she is the general manager of Suntech company, leading the product group. Let me welcome Toastmaster Aarti onto the virtual stage to address the gathering.
Thank you, President Zinu, for the warm welcome, and team. I'm very happy to be co-hosting this event today with Zinu. When we were discussing as an area director, discussing with one of these clubs, we both the clubs, Trivandrum Technopark Toastmasters as well as UST Toastmasters, had some common challenge because our members are mostly IT and corporate people. So we thought if getting people to attend the meetings is a pain, why don't we have a joint linker meeting? And that is how we decided on this. By coincidence, October 22nd marks the day when Ralph Smetley started the first Toastmaster meeting. So today is actually the 97th birthday of Toastmasters, and we are celebrating that by having a linker meeting between Technopark Toastmasters and UST Trivandrum Toastmasters. Now, let's get into the proceedings of the meeting. And to conduct today's meeting, I'm handing over the baton back to Zinu. Zinu is the president of UST Trivandrum Toastmasters. She is a product owner in UST, and she's been a member of UST Toastmasters Club since 2017. She has completed her CCCL, and a pathbreaker, now serving as the president of UST Trivandrum Toastmasters. And we can see that she is the backbone and the front face and all in all of Trivandrum Toastmasters, leading her crew together with her charming smile. With that, I hand over back to Zinu to lead the meeting today. Back to you, Zinu.
Thank you, Toastmaster Aarti, for that great introduction. Again, good afternoon, Toastmasters and my dear guests. I see a lot of guests today, so can we have a quick round of intro of the guests? Govind, are you there?
Yes, I am here.
Yeah, just give a intro. We know, okay.
Yeah. So myself, Govind Ramchandran, I'm with UST around 1.8 years. Now I am with Ferguson IMS team. I am part of Cloud Infrastructure Services team.
Thank you, Govind. Thank you for joining with us. And we'd like to see you in future meetings as well. Keep attending. We would like to see you as member as well.
If I'm getting done, surely, because I 24/7 shift is really hectic.
Yeah, I understand. But for self-improvement or professional growth, whatever, keeping one hour away is like, you can do it.
Yeah, that's right.
Nothing like impossible. Fine. Try your best. Do we have any other guests? All right.
Bindu, Amita.
Yeah.
Deepthi, you can rename as TM_, Deepthi. Toastmasters, please rename as TM_.
Yeah, so anyone who is joining this meeting for the first time, you can just introduce yourself in one of the sentences. How did you came to know of Toastmasters? Bindu, go ahead. You were telling something. No? Fine. Do we have any other guests? Okay. Okay, then let's start. So as all of you know, today's theme for Toastmasters meeting is optimism versus reality. So a couple of days back, while I was cleaning up my mobile for freeing up the storage space, I came across this video of Shashi Tharoor, which he talks about some new words, introducing some new words. In that, there was a word which struck me, Panglossian. It's called Panglossian. So I was researching on that, and I came across this French play by writer, author Voltaire. And there is this character, Pangloss, in his work, in his play, Candide. Okay. He's a character who believes, who's relentlessly optimistic, unbelievably, stupidly optimistic, and he believes all is good in all this wonderful, beautiful world. I'd like to know how many of you are so optimistic that you miss what's reality sometimes. Is there anyone here who believes?
Actually, like this candidate was like in my final year, I had to study this like this. So this was like I was really known about this story. Like,
Oh, so you've read the story.
yeah, because I have like in my final year, I have
Great.
this one. So
Great. So I try to look into that. What is the story? So it talks about this character Pangloss.
yeah.
And the story unfolds like a lot of unforeseen happenings, a lot of hardships and everything. And it gives a message that like it's not a very beautiful world that we live in, right? So even the last week we had a flood, a lot of calamity and everything, and in between all that, we went from my house. We went for a trip to Gavi, and we were almost stuck in Pathanamthitta district. So I thought, like, okay, let this be the theme. There was no forecast for the weekend, rain forecast for the weekend. It only started on Saturday, but we started off on Friday. Then we couldn't reach. Somehow, with God's grace, we reached back safe. Okay, so we'll talk about optimism, reality, pessimism as we move through the meeting. But let's proceed with the general agenda that we follow, that we always follow. We have 3 sections in our regular meeting. Just prepared speech, table topics, and evaluation. So we have in prepared speech today, we have a speaker who is a veteran Toastmaster. I don't need to introduce her because we have already introduced her. She's doing her level 2 project 3 in effective coaching. To give the project objectives.
General evaluator and tag team.
Before moving into that, let me call upon the general evaluator to introduce the tag team and also to talk about the evaluation section. Okay, so our general evaluator today is Toastmaster Prakash. Toastmaster Prakash is a technology consultant at Tata Alexi, loves traveling, reading, and good designs. He is from Technopark Toastmasters Club. So let me welcome Toastmaster Prakash onto the virtual stage to speak about his objectives and to introduce the tactic. Over to you, Toastmaster Prakash.
Thank you, Toastmaster Zinu. Good afternoon, fellow Toastmasters and guests. I'm the general evaluator for today's meeting. And my responsibility is to evaluate everything that happens in the meeting. Clearly, I cannot do this alone all by myself. So I have a very special team called Tag Team, Timer, Accounter, and Grammarian. Let me invite the Tag Team to introduce themselves and explain their roles and responsibilities. Today we have Nesiga, Toastmaster Nesiga as Timer. Toastmaster Nesiga is an accounts professional and who is planning to move to UAE next month. Toastmaster Nesiga, over to you.
Thank you, Prakash. Thank you very much for the intro. I'm really sorry because I'm not keeping well, so I won't be turning on the video today. So I am keeping the time today. I'm doing the timer role, and I will evaluate the speaker 1 and 2, their timing, and will show the cards if possible. And yeah, thank you so much.
Thank you, Toastmaster Nesiga. Next role player is the Accounter. Today we have Toastmaster Rahul as Accounter. Toastmaster Rahul is a test lead at UST, who is a proactive person and loves to encourage and motivate others. Over to you, Toastmaster Rahul, to explain the Accounter role.
Thank you, Toastmaster Prakash. I'll be playing the accounter role. As an accounter, I am responsible to find out the pillar sounds as well as the overused words. Also, I will note down the inappropriate interjunctions such as and, well, but, so, and, you know. Also, I have to note down the sounds, maybe At the end of the meeting, I will submit the report. Over to you, Prakash.
Thank you, Toastmaster Rahul. Today we have Toastmaster Jasna as grammarian. Toastmaster Jasna is working as a delivery head at Pitch Solutions. Over to you, Toastmaster Jasna, to explain the roles of grammarian.
Thank you, Toastmaster Prakash. Good afternoon, fellow Toastmasters and guests. As grammarian, it is my responsibility to pay close attention to all speakers, listening carefully to their language usage. I'll take note of any improper language, as well as any outstanding words, quotes, sayings, or thoughts. Toastmaster Zinu has already introduced us to the word of the day. It's Panglossian. I will just share a PPT shortly. In the meantime, I would encourage all speakers to use the word of the day as much as possible, and all are requested to give a virtual applause to anyone who actually uses them today. I'll just share my screen. So word of the day is Panglossian. It's an adjective usage. The meaning is characterized by extreme optimism, regardless of the circumstance. Usage. When my master adopted the Panglossian view of the universe, I used no arguments that might cloud his serenity. Another usage would be, her Panglossian thinking always got us through. Thank you for this. I will be taking a note of how many times the word has been used today, and I will be presenting my report at the end of the meeting. Thank you, and back to you, Toastmaster Prakash.
Thank you, Toastmaster Jasna, and thank you, the team, tag team. We will be back with our evaluation report when called upon. Over to you, Toastmaster Zinu.
Thank you, Toastmaster Prakash. With that, let's start our section 1, which is a prepared speech. As already mentioned, Toastmaster Aarti, orator director, she's doing her level 2 project 3 speech today on effective coaching, and her evaluator is Master Jayant. He's a veteran Toastmaster, technology veteran. He has been with the UST Toastmasters Club since the inception of our club. He has been club president for 2 years. He has also completed CCCL, ALB, SB, and now moving towards Pathbreaker. I introduce Toastmaster Jayant and welcome you to the virtual stage. Give the project criteria for Toastmaster speaker, Toastmaster Arati. Over to you, Toastmaster Jayant.
Thank you, Toastmaster of the day, Toastmaster Zinu. Today, Aarti will be attempting her speech, for which the purpose is to clearly define how Toastmasters envisions mentoring. Mentoring is a very important part of Toastmasters Club. And the purpose of the speech is for the member to share some aspect of her previous experience as a protege and her experiences as in mentoring in general. The time is 5 to 7 minutes. And over back to you.
Thank you, Toastmaster Jayant. So today we are having the speaker, Toastmaster Arati, Path Effective Coaching, Level 2 Project 3 Mentoring, title Help Me to Help You. Help Me to Help You, Toastmaster Arati.
Thank you, Toastmaster of the day, Zinu. The year was 2007. I was getting acquainted with my new boss who was based out of Singapore. So we were discussing my career aspirations and I was telling him that I was pursuing my master's in software system. He looked at me. I was a project manager at that time. He paused and he looked at me. He shook his head and said, I could have helped you save a few bucks if I had known that your intent was to pursue masters. It must have been to him a Panglossian thought that a project manager is pursuing a technology stream. That was an aha moment for me as well, a moment of insight. I felt that I could have gained a lot had I made use of a mentor in my professional career. Good evening, fellow Toastmasters and guests. A mentor is someone who has vast experience in the relative field, is genuinely interested in your progress and can see and guide you when you face blind spots, and they can put you back on track. Frankly, I do not regret my decision to pursue higher education. But however, it dawned on me that when you're investing in something, either your time or your money, a mentor's advice is always welcome, as it should be the step you're taking should be taking you one step closer to your goal. By the way, it was this mentor who recommended me to try out Toastmasters. And back then, we did not have a Toastmasters club in Trivandrum. Well, that's a story for another time. Do I need a mentor at work, in my personal life, or here in Toastmasters? I think that's a good question that we all should ask ourselves. Let me share how I found the answer to that in Toastmasters. I was confident when I am speaking in formal settings. So when I was assigned a mentor in my parent club, Trivandrum Toastmasters, I was wondering how I would take forward that conversation. But it turned out to be very useful. So we discussed what my objective of joining Toastmasters was. I said, I wanted to enjoy speaking and not just deliver a speech, not just in the context of Toastmasters, but anywhere. I wanted to enjoy it, which means all the inhibitions that come along with public speaking should go away. You should be able to confidently get up, walk to the podium and face the audience. You should be confident to raise your hand and then speak. You should be able to hide your the stress that is demonstrated through your body language, and you should be able to mask your anxiety when you're trying to think what your next statement is going to be. So we worked on my next speech and talked about how to bring in vocal variety to make it an engaging and interesting speech. So that helped me immensely, because this mentor had great experience in Toastmasters and outside. And she helped me find out how to react to the audience and visualize what the audience wanted. Now, after that, we planned our next steps, next speeches, and how the preparation should be done. And we had a plan in place. It may have been very hazy at that point, but I felt I had a purpose and somebody was guiding me towards that. Of course, the clarity would come as the journey progresses, but at least we had a plan. So that's the effect of a mentor. Now, how is a mentor different from a coach? A coach has a very specific task or a skill and would be engaged for a specific duration. For instance, after my third speech, I felt a writer's block and I couldn't come up with the topic for my next speech. So my mentor assigned me a senior Toastmaster who then coached me how to pick up a topic and then from my life and then mold it into a topic that blends with the objective. Now that's the purpose of a coach. Another example is when you have a contest time, coaches are in great demand to coach you to give a winning speech. So they focus only on that. So that's the difference between a coach. The mentor is more or less a longer relationship. And the mentor knows where you're headed to and helps you get there. A good mentor helps you get there. But the best mentor helps you figure out what you want. How? By asking the right questions and making you answer them. In Toastmasters, how do you get a member or a mentor? Sorry. You reach out to your VP Education. The VP Education will assign you a mentor either from the club or from outside. This is not a fixed duration. It can be for a few months, a year, or if it works out, maybe lifelong. While the mentor's experience matters, what is more important is the responsibility with the mentee or the protégé. It's the mentee's responsibility to make sure that the engagement moves forward, extracting best from the association. Remember, in Toastmasters or anywhere, nobody is going to come and teach you like they did in nursery and force you to do something or force you to change. But they will support you if you have the initiative to change. They will be your safety wheels. So help them to help you. Now, whether you're a mentor or a mentee, you learn on that path. We always say knowledge increases when we share, right? Why is that? That is because when you share ideas, you have to crystallize your thought. You have to do some research. You have to synthesize multiple viewpoints. And in that, your knowledge increases. So each mentoring experience will be different. My mentoring at my work with my boss and my mentoring with my Toastmaster mentor were different. Their contributions are different, their viewpoints are different, and what I was seeking was also different, which is fine. Now, when the goal is reached, we should acknowledge it and then move on to a different area to focus on. Because for us, the learning continues. Remember, the mentee's initiative is very important. So help your mentor help you. Now, once they've done that, once you've helped yourself, you can then help others. Over to you, Toastmaster of the day, Zinu.
Thank you, Toastmaster Adi. That was a wonderful speech. And I felt like before joining Toastmasters, Toastmaster Arti was Panglossian enough to think that mentor is not needed for me, right? Anyways, so I just wanted to, out of curiosity, just wanted to check with you all. Has anybody tried a prepared speech without practicing it, without scripting it? Just checking if you were all Panglossian enough to feel that, oh, I can speak for 5 minutes without even scripting or practicing it. Is there anyone here like that?
In Toastmasters, no, but in real life, yes.
Okay, great. Yeah. So shall we move on to table topics? Okay. So our topics
Yes.
yeah. Our topics master today is Toastmaster Radhika. She's a seasoned HR professional currently with Finestra. She's passionate about diversity, equity, and inclusion. A Trivandrum site ambassador of women at Finestra, and also one of the key players in EVIT forum. She loves a good debate any day. So let me welcome Toastmaster Radhika onto the virtual stage to open the table topics. Over to you, Toastmaster Radhika.
Thank you, Toastmaster Zinu. It's a pleasure being here in a collaborative session with both UST Toastmasters and Technopark Toastmasters. And as the table topic master, my role is to encourage all of you to speak for 1 to 2 minutes on a different topic. And this is impromptu. As you all know, this is an opportunity to think on your toes and speak for 1 minute, minimum 1 minute and maximum 2 minutes. So I will share my screen for you to pick up your topic for the day, and shares, I hope my screen comes up. Yeah. We are spinning the wheel of fortune today, so you can kind of get a peek into the topics, but you will not be able to see it. This is how it is. So one of the topics is definitely optimist versus realist. So that is the theme for our session as well. And let me see who would like to go first to spin the wheel and pick up a topic and speak for 1 to 2 minutes. Jayant, the brave Jayant. Are we good to go? Spin? Oh, yes. That dream of yours that turned into reality. Over to you, James. The time starts now.
Thank you, Toastmaster, for that lovely topic. The dream that turned into a reality. As a young child, I used to imagine all those romance novels and all these romantic films will someday be true. I used to imagine myself in the hero's place in the novel or in the film. I know I was very Panglossian at that time and I didn't know the reality of the world. But still, I held on to the fact that someday my dream would become true. I would marry the person of my choice, the person that I love, and I would be able to take her to the most romantic place, that is Paris, and take her to the top of the Eiffel Tower and have a short kiss. And I was able to achieve that very soon in my life without much planning. And it just happened. All the fates aligned and all the stars aligned in my order, so that I could achieve this dream. I could marry the love of my life and take her to Paris and profess my love once again in front of Eiffel Tower. It was a difficult path. It was difficult to convince parents on both sides. It was difficult to arrange a marriage where all the folks will be happy. You have to take care of every needs and requirements and all these social rules that we have. But we did it, and we had given a promise that we will not run away and marry or do something like that. And luckily, we were able to do that and achieve that. So that was one of the dreams that I had that got into reality. My other dream would be to own a house, which also recently became a reality. So I am thankful to my stars and my mentors for blessing me so that I could be able to convert my dream into a reality. Over to you.
Thank you for that. And I can see that yellow background at Zinu's screen. So yeah, well within the time. And let me go back to share the screen once again. Okay, so who is going next? thought there will be a lot of raised hands because this is your fortune spin. And we are playing fortune wheel. So who's going next? Any of the guests? I can
Jasna
see
has raised her hand.
Jasna. Yes. Yes, Jasna. I spin for you.
Yes, please.
Panglossian, are you?
Thank you, Toastmaster Radhika, for that wonderful topic. I will go with a negation. No, I mean, no way a Panglossian. There are times when I have taken things positively, but excessively optimistic, no way. I think I go with the drill. Like, I take decision based on the situation, and my expertise comes mostly into risk management. So if I use Panglossian ideas over there, most probably I will end up in trouble and I'll get my whole team into trouble. So no way I use those kind of ideas. I am more of a realistic person, basically. Optimistic sometimes, whenever I feel it is right to pitch in the optimistic field there. But otherwise, I think I take calculated decisions and I look at risks and I play around from there. And I think it is a beautiful topic. Thank you very much for giving me this opportunity. And that was it. Thank you.
The person who is not short of words, I'm just wondering why Jasna concluded her speech in less than 1 minute. She was in a hurry. Okay, so let me see who is going next. Do I see any? Deepti. Yes, Deepti. Spinning for you.
Okay. Great topic. Well, optimist versus realist. It is a very difficult question to answer because there are times when reality hits you and then you really focus towards that reality and do things. But then there are times when things don't work out the way it is supposed to, but then you are trying to be a Panglossian rather than an optimist sometimes. So I guess I can't say whether I'm an optimist or a realist, but based on the situations, I decide according to my needs. I decide whether I have to be a realist or an optimist. So there was this time when my dad said, see, you can be a good teacher. You are really good in explaining things. So you should become a teacher. So I decided, okay, then that means that's a career I want to be. But then reality hit me in the final year that it is just not possible. Just because you're good in explaining things, you cannot become a great teacher. So better find out a different choice and make the decision right away. So I switched my thought process from there, and from BSc Physics, I just jumped into engineering. So that was a great optimistic or realistic moment, I could say, like that sort. And right now I am here in front of you. And today I'm completing 15 years of my career, and I am still not sure whether I am an optimistic person or a realistic person. Thank you, Radhika, for the great topic. Over to you.
Thank you so much, Deepti, and congratulations on completing and touching a milestone in your career, 15 years. Wow. That is really wonderful. And then wish you many more years of a great career ahead. And here we are. So who is going next? Govind, Dundu, Dawn. I'm just calling out the guests to inspire to give it a try. if you would like to.
Radhika, I'll take it.
Prakash?
Arun.
Arun. Hey, Arun. Yes, Arun. I'm spinning for you, Arun. Oh. Opportunity to sing.
Why does the spinning wheel does not work? It chose the worst singer in this entire meeting. Okay, a song that lifts my spirit up. कुछ तो लोग कहेंगे लोगों का काम है कहना छोड़ो बेकार की, and something on those lines. So yeah, I mean, this comes in thieves of optimism versus realism, where you become an optimist and thinking that you're going to impress the hell out of the world as you begin your journey in right just after your college, as you enter the life. You're so full of enthusiasm, you're so full of passion, you're such set in your Panglossian way that you are just set in your ways to conquer the world out there. And in some sense, it is good. It is good because it that Panglossian attitude which gives you confidence to try out different things, try out stupid things, which in turn give you experiences, right? And it is these experiences that make you that converts to wisdom, I suppose, at some point. But as you go ahead, and when you become a realist in some type of time, and it becomes very difficult to impress the world, to conquer everything and all those things, and you try to question yourself, where am I doing wrong? What are the things that I'm doing wrong? Why are things not going on your way? And at that point of time, you think to yourself, कुछ तो लोगों कहेंगे छोड़ो लोगों को कहना, and then you look into yourself and decide what do you want out of the world. And at that point of time, you come back again to becoming an optimist, and you just being optimist about yourself and ignore whatever reality such people say to it. And there is a beautiful term for this. They say ignorance is a bliss. Certain ignorance is definitely a bliss. So ignore all others, what others say about you, and enjoy the bliss of your confidence. Thank you.
Thank you so much. How beautifully you have connected your favorite song to the topic of the day. Very smart. Thank you. And we are going to the next spin.
So we got one last topic on account of time. So anyone?
One last spin. Who would like to spin?
I can go. Down.
Thank you, Dawn. I'm spinning for you. You can see my screen, right?
Yeah. What is the topic?
That incident or story. Sorry, is it not visible?
Yeah, I could see it. So that was okay. That incident or a story, right? Okay.
That incident or story.
Okay.
Sorry, this is not the one.
Okay.
I'll stop sharing.
Okay.
Inspired you.
Yeah. Hi all. I'm first of all, I'm not a Panglossian thought person, but I love a movie kind of thing. As a person, whenever I'm feeling any movie, I will think that movie inspires me a lot. one big example is like after watching Three Idiot movie, I thought if I would have gone to my college life and I would have tried this kind of thing, my life would be entirely a different life. But unfortunately, after my engineering, only that movie got released, and I watched that movie, and I would watch that movie more than 30 or 40 times. Similarly, previous year when I watched the Surare Potru movie, right, that movie also inspired me a lot, because we will go into lots of rejection many times, maybe due to our society or due to our neighbors or parents. Why are you doing this kind of thing? But my heart is saying that I need to do this. Whether I'm winning or losing, that is a second time, but I am happy in trying it. So all these movies makes me inspires a lot. So currently I'm doing a passion like movie reviewer. So whenever a movie is getting released, I used to talk more about its positive point and few negative points. If a movie is not inspiring me, I won't give a review kind of thing. So my life is going as a movie reviewer due to this kind of thing. So every movie inspires me a lot. Thanks a lot.
Wow, that is brilliant. And it aligns with the Toastmasters principle, isn't it? When you have good things to say, you will give a review. Yes. Otherwise, you will keep quiet. Very good. Thank you so much, everyone, for participating. And over to you, Toastmaster Zinu.
Thank you, Toastmaster Radhika. This is so creative and the topics were so good. I loved all the topics. And I loved hearing the speakers as well. Everybody did well. So we talked much about optimism, reality, pessimism, Panglossian, etc. Now I think it's time for evaluation, as many have a hard stop at 4 o'clock. So why don't we go for evaluation? Let me call upon the evaluator and giving you the virtual stage.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Now, who, general evaluator or a speech evaluator?
General evaluator, you can call the speech evaluator.
Okay, thank you, Toastmaster already. First, I would like to invite the timer to give the timings of prepared speech so that the speech evaluator can give the speech. Over to you, Toastmaster Nesiga.
Thank you, Toastmaster Prakash. Aarti has taken around 7 minutes and 10 seconds in her speech. Over to you, Prakash.
Thank you, Toastmaster Nesiga. Now, let me invite Toastmaster Jayant to give the feedback of Toastmaster Aarti's speech. Over to you.
Thank you, General Evaluator. Today, I have the very challenging task of evaluating Aarti's speech. Toastmaster Aarti has given a very wonderful speech. The objective was to emphasize about the mentoring and how Toastmasters envisions mentoring. And I would say the clarity that she added on what is mentoring, what is coaching, and what it means to be a protege. That was very clear and very evident throughout the speech. The structure, the confidence in presenting the speech was something that we could all try to achieve. Right? That would be a benchmark for us to have that confidence and comfort in speaking very fluently about this topic. The objective was also to share your experience as a protege, and you have given some examples from your real life and as your journey in Toastmasters. And you also mentioned about how coaches can help in competitive speech, public speaking. So throughout, I feel the speech was very well structured, and you already have the confidence in delivering such a qualitative speech. Few points that I think could have improved the speech is one is pacing. I would love to have some pacing between your sentences. You could pause for emphasis. Some of the sentences were very well constructed, but if you could have just paused before delivering that, that would have. You could have used some gestures to show what is mentoring and what is coaching. So mentoring on one hand would be long term, coaching would be a short goal oriented. So you could have used those gestures to show two side-by-side themes. The other thing would be regarding the posture. Your speaking posture had the impact of the revolving chair. So there was I was getting distracted by the chair that was revolving. So to everyone in the meeting, try to avoid such distractions in your speech. It's good to have a good standing posture so that all the focus will be on you and the delivery of the speech. The other thing would be to have some more anecdotes. You can use some more anecdotes and give a challenge. Usually, a story would contain a challenge and something that the hero has to overcome. So you could be the hero of the story and create a challenge and show that tension to the audience, and then tell them how a mentor or mentoring has helped you overcome the challenge. So that would be something that you can add to challenge yourself in future speeches, adding more anecdotes. Overall, I think for everyone in this meeting, this would be a model speech that you can aim for in terms of the clarity and the confidence in speaking, and the speech structure as well. It was very clear and very up to the point. But if you have these improvements as well, that would be great. These are just my 2 cents. I know I'm nothing to compare in front of your progress, but still, all the best for all the future speeches. Back to you.
Thank you, Toastmaster Jayant, for that detailed evaluation report. Now, let me invite the evaluation tag team to give the evaluation report. First, let me invite Timer to give the reports. Over to you, Toastmaster Jessica.
Thank you, Prakash, again. Well, here the evaluator, Jayant, has taken around 3 minutes and 30 seconds. And in the table topic session, Jasna has taken 55 seconds in her table topics, and Jayant took 2 minutes, and Bindu had taken around 1 minute and 15 seconds, and John had 1 minute and 29 seconds, and Arun took around 2 minutes and 30 seconds. Is that all?
Yeah, thank you, Toastmaster Nasika. Let me now invite the ARC counter to share the reports. Over to you, Toastmaster Rahul.
Thank you, Toastmaster Prakash. Let me share my screen. Hope all of you have to see my screens. So today we had Arun, you took around 1 hour fillers. And Zinu, you had more than 2 so usage and usage. And the Toastmaster, you had an repetitive, so you can try to understand. And Govind, you have usage. And Prakash and Radhika, I didn't find out anything. It was very difficult for me to find out. I was listening carefully, but I cannot. And Jan, you had more than 3 hour usage. And Krishna, you had 1 so usage. And Diti, you have 1 hour usage. I don't know during the topics I find out. So, and you have 1 so usage. That's all. Thank you. Okay.
Thank you, Toastmaster Rahul. Now let me invite grammarian, Toastmaster Jasna. Will you please give the report?
Thank you, Toastmaster Prakash. Overall, it was a wonderful session. So I didn't have like too many points to note. The word Panglossian was used by Arati twice, Zinu twice, Jayant once, myself twice, Deepthi once, Arun twice, Don Bosco once. So I think this is one of the meetings where almost everybody used the word of the day. So close to that. Arati, I like the way that you used vocal variety. That was like nice in between your speech. And Zinu, you also brought up the pessimistic thing in between. So that was good, the usage. Deepthi, in your speech, I just felt like, or in the table topics, I just felt like you were continuing the sentences. Maybe you could just pause and pick the next sentence and start over. So that might be one thing that you can keep in mind. Arun, you said, where am I doing wrong? And then you said, what am I doing wrong? You use both, but I think what am I doing wrong is the actual usage. So if you can stick to that one. Don Bosco, I think you mentioned once, into a lots of rejections. So maybe and the lots, that is something that you can consider. I think there were different sentences in between also wherein the plural was used with a vowel. So maybe that you can check into. The next one, I'm not sure whether I should also mention it about an evaluator, but still, since this is a meeting for improvements, Jayant, you used very wonderful speech. Very is not used with adjectives or adverbs, and wonderful is an adjective. So maybe you can refrain from that usage. Instead, just wonderful or amazing would do the trick. Right. That was my report for the day. Thank you very much. Back to you, Toastmaster Prakash.
Thank you, Toastmaster Jasna, for that wonderful and detailed report. Now let me go with my general evaluation. We have started the meeting on time, and guests were introduced. Toastmaster Arun presented the mission and vision as well as rules well. Toastmaster Zinu presented a really apt topic today, optimism versus reality. So it's something that we all need to have a check occasionally. And of course, all the role players did a wonderful job in explaining the roles as well as with their detailed reports. And finally, Toastmaster Aradi's speech. It is just a wonderful and informative speech. And like Toastmaster James said, it is really a benchmark for all of us. And a speech like this especially makes us more optimistic about joining this club. Anyway, it's I'm not sure what kind of optimism is that. Toastmaster Radhika, table topics, really, that is outstanding and very, very, very impressive way of spinning the wheel, and especially the speakers, again, Jayant, Jasna, Deepthi, Arun, Don, you all did a wonderful job. And yeah, that's it, the overall general evaluation. Thank you all once again for participating, and over to you, Toastmaster Zinu.
Thank you, Master Prakash, for that detailed evaluation of the meeting. Now, Jayant has given the voting link in the chat box. So those who have not voted, please do. Since we have only one speaker, we don't have voting for speaker evaluator.
Before we lose Aarti, can we all look at the camera, turn on your video so I can have a group photo taken? Toastmasters, please feel free to turn on your video. I'm going to take a snap in 3, 2, 1. Say paneer. Okay, done. Thank you, everyone.
So before Aarti leaves, any comments, feedback, anything?
Yeah. Thank you, Zinu. I think this was a great meeting. We should do this more often. We learned from each other's club, the way we conduct it, and the ideas, creative ideas, the way we do evaluations, everything we learn from each other. And I think collaborating has helped us both. We were struggling with attendance, you were struggling with attendance, but together we had 13 people, and this is really good. Let's do it, but not too often that it gets really taken for granted, but let's do it once in a while. We can also visit the clubs, not just a linker meeting. We can have people visiting the clubs each other so that we can add value to the other club as well. Thank you, and back to you. I will just sign off now.
Thank you, Aarti. So are we with the votings, everyone? Do we have the results now? Speaker.
I have received only 8 responses till now.
Yeah, those of you who haven't given the votes, please do. And also anyone who would like to give feedback, you're welcome. Govind or anyone. new members, Nasiha? Anyone would like to give any feedback?
Yeah, we have been
Hi,
here.
Zinu.
Yes.
Yeah, you want to say something, Radhika? Go ahead.
No, I was just checking if
Hello?
Bindu as a guest would like to share her impression about Toastmasters Club, her first meeting. So I was just checking.
I don't mind.
Yeah.
Hello, this is
Maybe
Bindu. Okay.
Bindu, are you
Yes, I am. I thought someone else was trying to speak, so I thought I'll watch and see. Okay, fine. For the, I think I got invited because Radhika insisted, and she is our HR. I work with the same company. She's a we are colleagues. So I have stage fright, and I've been, I've opened it up quite a bit, and this was something that Radhika suggested as a to do or to try thing. So I thought I'll give it a try, and then I'm not much of a impromptu speaker, but the topics I would say were interesting that I think I'll probably give it a try the next time. Then I'm not a person who would like volunteer for anything that would make me stand up in front of a crowd. No, I'm not. I'm not a Panglossian at all when it comes to that. But then looking at the way you do things, probably, especially since it is virtual, yes, I might give it a try. But when Radhika called me up, I wanted to, but then I still, my impulses or my instincts are to hesitate. So I did hesitate, and somebody volunteered, and I respect that spirit that they had to volunteer. I admire them for their, I would say, they were brave enough to speak up. So yes, this is a good experience. So probably next time, I hope I would hesitate less and speak up. Thank you. Thanks for inviting me, Radhika.
Thank you, Bindu. Bindu and Radhika, you can invite more folks from Finastra. I think I know Arun from Finastra, so you can ask Arun also to be part of Toastmaster clubs. You can drop in. We have weekly meetings at UST side.
We'll definitely do that. Yes, thank you. Actually, every techie in all Technopark companies need a bit of Toastmaster training, isn't it? Don't you think so? I always have that feeling.
Yeah, right. That's true.
We are good in many things, but to fine tune our skills and make it wholesome.
Yeah, right. Some have confidence issues. Some have a feeling that their English is not good, grammar is not good, but it's just their thought. Even now, Bindu did open up and talked well. I don't know, but yeah, if I have talked about myself 4 years back, I was also not a very like talkative person, or I don't volunteer myself to talk, but it has changed a lot. This has helped me a lot. So Bindu, you're welcome to attend club meetings more often. Attend, even if you speak or not speak, do attend. That's an experience.
She has a very beautiful and powerful voice. Did you hear her?
Yeah.
And then she's saying, I don't want to do that.
Right.
Yeah, so Toastmaster is a great sandbox where you can try out different things and you can explore yourself. You can become better at it because there's no competition or there's nothing like that. You're just here to improve, and it's not just that you are like others are all expert. We're all surrounded by people who are ready to learn, and this is such a great environment to be in. Where it is easier to let go of your inhibitions and
yeah. just before the meeting, Arun mentioned that he won't be able to stay back till the end of the meeting. He will he will discuss between, but you stayed back because it was interesting, right, Arun?
Also, my other meeting got cancelled, but yes, it was interesting.
Oh, okay.
I would also like to thank Nesiha for joining. She was sick, but she still joined. So that was like, even keeping the video off. So thanks a lot for that. I don't think many people just do that, they just walk off and go there.
Thank you. Thank you.
Deepthi, you were telling something.
Yeah, just that, this is the second time I'm coming and attending the meeting, and it is so much fun, and I really enjoyed today's meeting. Usually it is just our home club, but then when we attend with another club, then we understand, okay, there's a lot of room for improvement for myself, as well as there are a lot of learnings. And especially the word for the day, Panglossian, it's a very good word, and we could learn new words and a lot of new things. So it's good to be here.
Okay. Yeah, I remember the first meeting we had. Deepthi and Aarti was only
yes.
I remember.
And
I forwarded a video.
Also,
yeah.
I couldn't believe that, I was a best speaker because it was something like I just joined, and it was like few days after that and all. So it was amazing. I didn't know I had something in me where I could boldly speak. I am a kind of a person who just want to sit at the back and, until and unless somebody pushes me, don't want to join and, get involved. But Aarti and everybody inspires me so much to come forward. So this is a great forum to be.
I think, Deepthi, you've changed a lot from where you were before, okay? Just like the transition is very, very evident. So yeah, kudos.
Yeah, I forwarded a video to Aarti. Maybe I'll ask her to forward. I'm not sure if she has already forwarded to you on.
By Shashi Tharoor.
Video I talked about. Yeah. You might have got it.
Yeah, I was thinking, oh my God, Panglossian, what kind of a word is that?
I know. I took part of your job role, and I felt really guilty for doing that.
No problem. I was okay with it. I was just like, oh my God, what a word. I never heard of it.
Okay. Yeah, I went and Googled what is this word, what does it mean, and I was like going on checking and what kind of usage can you possibly do and all sorts of things. But interesting.
Everybody used it.
Yeah, actually, it piqued the curiosity of everyone.
Yeah,
I also was hearing it for the first time, and now we will not forget it.
Right.
We'll use the word Panglossian a lot.
Well, it was very nice meeting you all. I will need to drop off.
Where
now.
are we on the awards? Voting?
Voting, yeah. If you can hear that also, it will be great.
I already pinged you the result, but if you want, I can share my screen.
Okay. Yeah, please. I got it. Okay. So, okay, I'll announce this. The voting has gone in such a way that the best role player for today is, any guess? Best role player for today is our creative TT Master, Radhika. And the best table topic speaker for today, any guesses? Is the one who loved, who
Jayant.
Yeah.
Paris.
Oh, right. It's a wonderful meeting team. Let's have joint meetings often, and let's keep in touch. Thank you all.
Nice to meet you all.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Have a happy weekend.
Thank you.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye. Thank you.
Thank you all.
Bye.